Hello everyone, we have an interesting product. The M1 Mac Mini is finally here for an unboxing. So pretty excited about this because Apple and generally the whole tech community has been excited about the new silicon from Apple. And
Apple's entry into ARM.
yes, and it's the first time Apple is kind of going away from Intel.
Finally.
We have three new products: the M1 Mac Mini, the M1 MacBook Air, and the M1 MacBook Pro. And so these were announced a couple of months ago, but availability has been really scarce. So we managed to get hold of one, and this is the Mac Mini, the 8-core CPU and 8-core GPU, and with 8 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of storage.
Base configuration.
So the base Mac Mini, which retails for about 66,900 rupees in India, but yeah, it's about 3 or 4 weeks of waiting time if you order it on Apple.com. So this is the box. I mean, the very familiar Mac Mini box we've seen before. Basically, it's an all-in-one computer. You just need to connect a monitor, keyboard, and mouse, and you're set to use it.
Yes.
And so this is the box it ships in, and nothing fancy. It doesn't even mention M1 on the outside.
Yeah, that's really confusing. I thought Apple would lean into the marketing a bit more, but it's just Mac Mini. There's nothing else. It doesn't mention Intel. Doesn't mention.
It just says 8-core CPU on the outside and 8-core GPU.
That's it. That's pretty
and
much it.
I think the model number gives it away. It's 82348, which is the model number. I think it's available only in a a light grey, silver color.
Yes, the classic silver color.
Yeah, the classic Mac. The space grey, I think, is reserved for the Intel Macs. It's still being sold. They're still being sold.
Yes, it
is. And
is.
maybe cheaper than the M1 Mac Mini.
No, I believe it's a little more expensive. No, I think it's more expensive.
In the US it's
$799.
Yeah, I think it's kind of the Apple M1 is probably cheaper than the Intel.
In the US, I don't know about India.
But in India, I think it's just all these retailers are also discounting these products. The Intel. I mean, there is this whole fear about Intel going away and support going away, but
it eventually will, but not at the moment.
Yeah, but I think it's good to have another player in the silicon space, right? You have Apple.
Sure.
I mean, it's like total vertical integration and horizontal integration. They're doing everything from the silicon to the OS. So, I mean, it's amazing to see the kind of the electronics and electricals behind this machine. And we'll be definitely kind of sharing some benchmarks of this device.
Yeah.
I do have a 16-inch 2019 MacBook Pro, which is the top of the line MacBook Pro.
From the Intel.
With the Intel chip inside.
Yeah.
But this is the kind of I wouldn't say top of the line, but still it's the most powerful M1 processor yet from Apple. So you have the 8-core CPU, 8-core GPU, and battery life isn't relevant for a Mac Mini, but battery life on the MacBook Pro is about 20 hours and 18 hours on the Air. So which is very impressive on the M1. So let's open it up and take a look.
Yeah, sure.
So here we have the M1 Mac Mini. So this is the retail box it ships in, and you have the kind of the ports, also information on the box.
Yep.
It does have Wi-Fi 6.
And Bluetooth 5.
And Bluetooth 5, and it's about 1.2 kilograms. And it's the same exact dimensions as the Intel Mac Mini.
Yeah, it's the outside external there's not much difference at all, except for the ports that'll be there in the back.
I think you don't get the extra USB-C ports.
Yes,
like only 2. Wow, this is so compact, and this is one of my favorite machines. I mean, because this packs everything. You don't need anything else. You just need a keyboard and a mouse. So this is the Mac Mini itself, and you get a power card. So that's pretty much it. You get a power card, and you get
any Apple stickers?
Just one.
Yeah, just one.
One Apple sticker.
One big one.
And let's see what else is here. It gives you the ports information. You have a power button, status indicator light. Does have a fan.
Yes.
And have 2 USB-C ports, 2 USB-A ports, an HDMI, and a gigabit Ethernet port as well. So that's the contents, and there's nothing much inside. And one major difference compared to the older Mac Mini is that the back cover, I think, can't be opened easily.
It's not as easily, can't be because there is no user upgradable RAM option.
Yeah, it's all soldered. So if you need a lot of storage,
you'll have to get
the bigger, the higher end variant. You better not get the base variant, but this is the base variant. So you have the ports here. On the back, you have the 2 USB-A's, headphone jack, HDMI, 2 Thunderbolt C ports, hit the heat
Ethernet
vent or heat vent or fan
Yeah.
vent, Ethernet port, and the power card. Wow, this is traditional Mac
That
Mini.
nice unibody
But on the
design.
inside, you have a lot going on,
Mm-hmm.
considering it's the M1. So that's pretty much it, guys. So we'll come back to you later in the video with the benchmarks and
Yeah.
how it performed. So that's the hardware for you, the M1 Mac Mini. It's just an ordinary Mac Mini, nothing much on the outside going on.
It's inside where
This
it's
is the
special.
familiar Mac Mini. If you've owned a Mac Mini in the past, you're going to be very familiar with it. And this is probably one of the best value for money Macs to get, actually.
If you're going to get in the Mac ecosystem, this
Yeah.
is like the fastest, easiest way to get into it.
It's like the
Cheapest for sure.
67,000, whereas even the Air starts from about 92,900.
Yeah, in India at least.
If you're getting like a student discount, it brings this price even further down. So it's a very good value for money Mac. So you get all in one. You can also kind of carry it around easily. Just pack it
If
take
you
it
want to,
if you
yeah.
want to, and you just need a mouse and keyboard to work with. So yeah, so let's see how it performs. So we're going to be looking at the benchmarks now. So let's see how the M1 from Apple, the Silicon from Apple performs.
Yeah.